what the president tweeted about her today. Tonight, she's calling it a sexist smear, and the president is asked, what did he really mean by those words? Also tonight, ABC News now learning that President Trump's legal team is now pushing the Attorney General Jeff Sessions to appoint a second special counsel to now investigate the FBI agents working on the Russia probe. The New York City subway bomber, what he posted on Facebook right before he boarded that train. Authorities say the bomb was already strapped to him when he boarded in Brooklyn, headed for Times Square. The school bus erupting into flames, the driver and a student killed. And the winter storm tonight, temperatures set to plunge up to a half foot of snow in many places.
This is ABC World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening, and it's great to have you with us here on a Tuesday night. And the nation fixed on Alabama tonight. The voters set to choose a new senator in a special election there. The results could have a profound impact in Washington and across the country. Republicans hold a razor-thin majority in the Senate. And the message this could send before next year's midterms. Republican Roy Moore riding his horse to vote, facing multiple claims of sexual misconduct with teenage girls during this campaign. Democrat Doug Jones trying to win in a deeply red state. And tonight, a first look here at what the voters are now saying. In preliminary exit polls, the results tonight, voters are almost evenly split on the allegations against Roy Moore. 49% call them definitely or probably true. 45% definitely or probably false. Did it factor into their decision? 40% say they were one of several factors in their decision. 55% say they were minor or no factor at all. And when asked which candidate shares voters' values, 49% say Doug Jones shares their values. 46% say Roy Moore. ABC's chief national correspondent Tom Llamas in Alabama leading us off tonight.
Roy Moore today galloping to the polls, but trying to cast a vote for himself as rocky as the last month of his campaign. The candidate pushing through a crush of reporters and their questions.
Back it up, back up.
Alabama's former Chief Justice dividing his own party. 8 women have accused him of a range of inappropriate sexual behavior. 2 say he assaulted them when they were just teenagers. Many Republican senators calling for him to drop out.
If you win tonight, what's your message to Senator McConnell?
Well, I'm coming to the Senate, and we'll work out our problems there.
One Republican staunchly in Moore's corner, President Trump. This morning tweeting, the people of Alabama will do the right thing. Vote Roy Moore. Another big Moore booster, the president's former chief strategist, Steve Bannon.
There's a special place in hell for Republicans who should know better. And they're trying to shut up President Trump and Judge Moore.
Bannon's comments coming just weeks after Ivanka Trump seemed to side with Moore's accusers, saying there's a special place in hell for people who prey on children. But voters we talked to are standing by Moore.
I believe in what he's trying to do. I don't believe all the scandal that they've drug up on him.
Moore denies the accusations against him, but controversy has shadowed him throughout the campaign, down to the final 24 hours and these comments from his wife.
Fake news would tell you that we don't care for Jews. I tell you all this because I've seen it all, so I just want to set the record straight while they're here. One of our attorneys is a Jew.
Kayla Moore also saying they have friends who are Jewish, but Democrats here in Ruby Red, Alabama have hope.
It's not a secret ballot for me, guys.
Moore's opponent, Doug Jones, casting his ballot this morning.
At the end of the day, we feel very confident.
Jones put the allegations against Moore front and center.
I damn sure believe that I have done my part to ensure that men who hurt little girls should go to jail and not the United States Senate.
He got President Obama's support and celebrities from Alabama rallying behind him as well.
At some point, we got to stop looking like idiots to the nation.
But Jones is counting on Republicans uneasy with Moore to tip the race in his favor. Republicans like Kim Dowdle.
We consider ourselves Republicans for Doug Jones.
She's been going door to door to try to convince her neighbors. The question tonight, will it be enough?
All right, Tom Llamas, who's been covering this race from the start. He's live in Montgomery, where Roy Moore is watching the returns tonight. And Tom, President Trump making it very clear, as you just reported there, that he's behind Moore, saying at one point, I like a fighter, go get him, Roy. And in these preliminary exit polls tonight, for some voters, President Trump's opinion on this did make a difference.
That's right, David. The president looms large in Alabama. This was one of his biggest victories last November. And according to our exit polls, nearly 30% of voters said one of the reasons they came out to vote today was to support President Trump. That's great news for Roy Moore. And today I asked Roy Moore what he thought of the president and what his message was to President Trump for standing by his side. He told me, thank you. David?
Tom Llamas will be seeing you as the evening wears on here. Next tonight, President Trump in a war of words tonight with Democratic Senator Kirsten Gillibrand after she said the president should resign after accusations of sexual misconduct against him. The president tweeting today that Gillibrand is a, quote, lightweight who would, quote, do anything for a campaign contribution. The senator calling that a sexist smear, attempting to silence her voice. And tonight the president was asked in front of the cameras, what did he mean by those words? ABC senior White House correspondent Cecilia Vega.
A firestorm of controversy today ignited by President Trump in just 280 characters. His counterpunch to New York Senator Kirsten Gillibrand's call for his resignation in the face of sexual misconduct allegations came in the form of what many call a sexually suggestive tweet. The president saying lightweight Senator Kirsten Gillibrand, a total flunky for Chuck Schumer, and someone who had come to my office begging for campaign contributions not so long ago and would do anything for them, is now in the ring fighting against Trump. The reaction immediate.
It was a sexist smear attempting to silence my voice, and I will not be silenced on this issue.
Senator Elizabeth Warren tweeting, "Are you really trying to bully, intimidate, and slut-shame Senator Gillibrand?" Today, the president refused to clarify.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Mr. President, what did you mean when you said that Kirsten Gillibrand would do anything for a campaign contribution?
Thank you, everybody.
So we asked the White House. Many people see this as a sexual innuendo. What is the president suggesting?
I think that the president is very obvious. This is the same sentiment that the president has expressed many times before when he has exposed the corruption of the entire political system.
What is he alleging would happen behind closed doors with her?
He's not alleging anything. There's no way that this is sexist at all.
Press Secretary Sarah Sanders insists the president's tweet was not sexual.
I think only if your mind is in the gutter would you have read it that way. And so no.
A day after 3 women renewed their claims of sexual misconduct against the president, tonight the number of Democratic senators calling for his resignation grew to 6.
We got everybody here?
And in the House, more than 50 Democratic congresswomen came forward to call for a congressional investigation.
What took place this morning when the president tweeted about our colleague, Senator Kirsten Gillibrand, is grotesque. It took my breath away.
That number now growing to more than 100 Democratic representatives, including men, all signing on to a letter saying we cannot ignore the multitude of women who have come forward with accusations against Mr. Trump.
All right, Cecilia Vega with us live tonight from the White House as well. And tonight, Cecilia, we're now hearing from the Republican who would decide if an investigation actually moves forward here.
Yeah, David, Congressman
Department tonight. President Trump's legal team now with a new headline in the Russia investigation. His team is now pushing the Attorney General to appoint a second special counsel to investigate the FBI agents who are working on the Russia probe. Here's ABC senior justice correspondent Pierre Thomas tonight.
Tonight, the president's attorneys taking aim at FBI agents working on the Russia probe, calling for a new second special counsel to investigate them. A primary concern, Special Agent Peter Strzok, who Robert Mueller removed from his team over the summer after discovering Strzok allegedly sent anti-Trump text messages during the campaign. The president's lawyers saying that's just one of several obvious conflicts of interest in the Justice Department that require the appointment of a special counsel to investigate. The White House asked about it today.
Would he support the appointment of a special prosecutor to look into this?
I haven't asked him that directly, but I know that he has great concern about some of the conduct that's taken place and something that we certainly would like to see looked at.
President Trump has tweeted that the FBI's reputation is in tatters, but the FBI director defends the agency.
The FBI that I see is people, decent people, committed to the highest principles of integrity and professionalism and respect.
Democrats say the president is questioning the FBI's integrity because Mueller's team has been stepping up its pressure.
Pierre Thomas with us live in Washington tonight. And Pierre, Attorney General Jeff Sessions did address this today, whether he would appoint a second special counsel.
David, Sessions says he's assigned a senior attorney to review these allegations regarding conflicts of interest and to make a recommendation on whether a special counsel is really needed. So stay tuned. David?
Pierre, thank you. We do have new reporting here on the terror attack in New York City. The suspect in the subway tunnel bombing charged with terror-related federal crimes, and a new image tonight of the 27-year-old immigrant from Bangladesh. His homemade bomb went off but did not detonate fully. And this image of the 4 brave police officers who rushed in after the blast. Tonight here we are learning that the suspect sent a message to President Trump on Facebook shortly before the blast. Here's ABC's Gio Benitez.
Tonight, chilling new details about this man, who authorities say deliberately walked among this crowd of unsuspecting commuters before detonating that homemade bomb.
The location and timing of his planned attack was no accident, and his motivation was no mystery.
Officials finding 27-year-old Akayed Ullah on the ground, badly burned, carrying him away to the hospital, where officials say he told them, quote, "I did it for the Islamic State." Federal authorities say on the morning of the attack, the suspect posted on Facebook, "Trump, you failed to protect your nation," and that they found a handwritten note in his passport, "Oh America, die in your rage." Authorities say Ullah intended to die while killing as many people as possible in that tunnel. But before the attempted attack, he was not on the NYPD or FBI's radar. Tonight, they say he had become radicalized online in 2014, reading ISIS propaganda. In this Brooklyn apartment, building the pipe bomb over the past few weeks, using the pipe, a 9-volt battery, and a wire from Christmas lights.
He did follow some of the instructions that you can find readily online, unfortunately.
250,000 people go through Port Authority every day, including former Homeland Security Chief Jay Johnson.
Events like this happen, but we're strong, we're resilient, we go on, and we are not afraid.
The bombing coming just 6 weeks after the ISIS-inspired truck attack in Lower Manhattan and a year after the bombings in the Chelsea neighborhood.
And Gio Benitez with us from that reopened tunnel where that blast went off. The resilience of New Yorkers back at the subway tonight. Authorities, Gio, say he did start researching how to build this pipe bomb a year ago.
That's right, David. And they say they started gathering the components for that bomb 3 weeks ago. Now he could face life in prison. David.
Gio Benitez on the case again tonight. And next here this evening to the tragedy on the way to school in Iowa. A school bus catching fire, taking the lives of the driver and a student. And how did this happen? Tonight, the NTSB is now investigating. And here's ABC's David Curley.
In rural western Iowa,
bus on fire with people inside.
A mother sending her student to school.
Owner of the house that called in stated that it was her child and the bus driver on the bus.
That teenager and the male driver unable to get off the burning bus. Authorities trying to piece together how the two could not escape.
It was backing out of a driveway and ended up in the opposite side ditch.
School bus fires are not rare. We've seen dozens captured on video. Engine fires, some starting in the wheel well. There is, on average, one a day. But deaths are rare. Usually those on board able to escape. Fatalities averaging just more than one a year. A statistic that changed dramatically east of Omaha today. The question tonight, why couldn't they get out of the burning bus? Authorities have identified the driver as a 74-year-old man who perished with that 16-year-old girl. David?
David Curley with us tonight. David, thank you. Next here this evening, a 1-2 punch of winter storms plunging the east into the deep freeze. The first round with heavy snow in Kalamazoo, Michigan there, all the way to New England. Lake effect snow and this multi-vehicle accident on I-90 near Granger, Indiana. And tonight now, a second storm system set to strike the Midwest and then across to the Northeast. Meteorologist Rob Marciano tracking it all again tonight for us. Hey, Rob.
Hey, David, the cold front is through. The winds have shifted. Here it comes. Cold air. We've got snow on the map across northern New York and northern New England. The lake effect snow bands will come in with that Arctic air. And there's that second system through Chicago. And then it gets into the I-95 corridor by Thursday morning. The bigger cities, an inch or two shouldn't be too bad. It's the cold air. Look at these wind chills tomorrow morning. Teens and single numbers from Chicago to D.C. to New York to Boston throughout the entire day. Bitterly cold. You'll want to layer up and cover up if you need to be outside. David?
Rob Marciano with us again tonight. Rob, thank you. And in the West at this hour, more than 6,000 firefighters have now blocked California's largest wildfire from reaching threatened towns. That's good news tonight. Crews fighting fire with fire now to stop its spread as they try to gain the upper hand on that monstrous Thomas fire. Now 20% contained, but officials don't expect to tame it until close to Christmas. There is still much more ahead on World News Tonight this Tuesday. The mayor collapsing in the grocery store and then dying. Also tonight, the holiday shopping crunch. Your money tonight with more than 2 billion packages being shipped. The tips you need to know, the warnings from delivery companies tonight, and the key date you have to keep in mind in the next couple of days, we'll tell you. Also, the former NFL players named in a sexual misconduct lawsuit, several of them out of a job tonight. And the force was strong as The Last Jedi premieres in London. So why were Princes William and Harry there amid rumors that they also had starring roles in the movie? A lot more news ahead. Amid the headlines that Americans bought more online this year, UPS saying they've now caught up after that warning last week that they were behind. Tips tonight to get your gifts there on time in a key day fast approaching. Here's Rebecca Jarvis.
For the first time ever, online holiday sales expected to top $100 billion.
Record online sales. What does that mean? Record numbers of packages. And unfortunately, I'd expect record numbers of delays.
After a blockbuster Cyber Monday triggered 1 to 2 day delays on some UPS items, the company put drivers on extra overtime to get back on schedule. Walmart back on track too after a flood of orders Thanksgiving weekend meant some deliveries took extra time. But with less than 2 weeks till Christmas, time to order is running out.
If in doubt, all that stress you might feel, pay a little extra for express shipping.
Or try the click and collect option.
We can just order one on Target.com and pick it up in the store. Easy.
That is buy online and pick up in person.
And David, remember the date December 19th. That is the deadline you must order by for many retailers to guarantee standard delivery by Christmas. It's the earliest we've seen in recent years. David?
All right, Rebecca, thanks. When we come back, the mayor of San Francisco collapsing inside a grocery store, later dying. We have new details. And then the image today, the royals on the red carpet. Did Princes William and Harry get cameos? Was the force with them? San Francisco passing away suddenly. Democrat Ed Lee collapsing at a grocery store, rushed to the hospital where he died. The city's first Asian American mayor, Lee was an advocate for marriage equality, among other issues. Edwin Lee was 65. Several former NFL players in the news tonight amid sexual misconduct allegations. The NFL Network suspending Hall of Famer Marshall Faulk, Ike Taylor, and Heath Evans, all named in a lawsuit filed by a former NFL Network stylist. Donovan McNabb and Eric Davis, who previously worked at the NFL Network, also named in the suit. Their current employer, ESPN, saying both have been pulled from the air for now. Warren Sapp and former NFL Network executive producer Eric Weinberger also named in the suit. No comment from any of the players tonight. And the force was strong on the red carpet tonight. Princes William and Harry arriving for the London premiere of Star Wars: The Last Jedi. And amid talk, they make a cameo as stormtroopers, but still no official word tonight. When we come back, what so many of you saw right here last night, and what you've now done. America Strong.
World News Tonight with David Muir, brought to you by Pacific Life, protecting generations of families for 150 years. That's the power of Pacific.
What is the power of Pacific? It's life insurance and retirement solutions to help you reach your goals. It's having the confidence to create the future that's most meaningful to you. It's protection for generations of families. And 150 years of strength and stability. And when you're able to harness all of that, that's the power of Pacific. Ask a financial advisor about Pacific Life.
When it comes to strong bones, are you on the right path? We have postmenopausal osteoporosis and a high risk for fracture. So with our doctors, we chose Prolia to help make our bones stronger. Only Prolia helps strengthen bones by stopping cells that damage them with one shot every 6 months.
Do not take Prolia if you have low blood calcium, are pregnant, are allergic to it, or take Xgeva. Serious allergic reactions like low blood pressure, trouble breathing, throat tightness, face, lip, or tongue swelling, rash, itching, or hives have happened. Tell your doctor about dental problems, as severe jawbone problems may happen, or new or unusual pain in your hip, groin, or thigh, as unusual thigh bone fractures have occurred. Speak to your doctor before stopping Prolia, as spine and other bone fractures have occurred. Prolia can cause serious side effects, like low blood calcium, serious infections, which could need hospitalization, skin problems, and severe bone, joint, or muscle pain.
If your bones aren't getting stronger, isn't it time for a new direction? Why wait? Ask your doctor about Prolia.
I tried hard to quit smoking. But when we brought our daughter home, that was it. Now I have Nicoderm CQ.
The Nicoderm CQ patch with unique extended release technology helps prevent your urge to smoke all day.
It's the best thing that ever happened to me. Every great why needs a great how.
When you have a cold, stuff happens. Shut down cold symptoms fast with maximum strength Alka-Seltzer Plus liquid gels.
When you have moderate to severe ulcerative colitis, the unpredictability of a flare may weigh on your mind. Thinking about what to avoid, where to go, and how to work around your UC. That's how I thought it had to be. But then I talked to my doctor about Humira and learned Humira can help get and keep UC under control when certain medications haven't worked well enough.
Humira can lower your ability to fight infections, including tuberculosis. Serious, sometimes fatal infections and cancers, including lymphoma, have happened, as have blood, liver, and nervous system problems, serious allergic reactions, and new or worsening heart failure. Before treatment, get tested for TB. Tell your doctor if you've been to areas where certain fungal infections are common, and if you've had TB, hepatitis B, are prone to infections, or have flu-like symptoms or sores. Don't start Humira if you have an infection.
Raise your expectations and ask your gastroenterologist if Humira may be right for you. With Humira, control is possible.
Yeah, we've worn them loud and proud to celebrate the holidays. Oh my God! But tomorrow, things are about to get uglier than ever in the best way when we reveal and crown America's wackiest, tackiest holiday sweater live on GMA. Tomorrow, even Santa will be shocked.
Finally tonight, America Strong and that sixth grader you met right here. I always say never underestimate the generosity of so many of you at home.
Last night, it was Kathy Sims' sixth grade math class at Ipswich Middle School in Massachusetts.
What was the total per jar?
Using jars of cookie dough, her students learning an important lesson about coming together to help one of their own.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So many of you at home hearing the story of Talia Duff, who was born with a rare progressive disease similar to ALS, known as CMT4J. Doctors already racing to start a clinical trial. But they need $1 million to take it to the next phase. The children knew it would take much more than those cookie dough jars. Performing for donations, bake sales, sports teams in the fight, and the video that they hoped would go viral. And tonight, the new numbers. After Talia's story aired, so many of you helping. They tell us viewers gave more than $65,000. Their total now, more than $124,000 and counting. Talia's mother, Jocelyn, moved by all of it.
It's just been pretty amazing.
Well, Jocelyn, we are all rooting for your daughter, Talia. I hope to see you right back here tomorrow. Until then, good night.
ABC News, America's #1 news source. First out the door when it...
The Pennsylvania Lottery.
Welcome to the Pennsylvania Lottery, live this evening, Tuesday, December 12th, 2017. Thanks to tonight's witness, Linda Bell. The wild ball number is 9. And now, pick 2. 8, 4. Select tonight's pick 3. 6, 9, 0. Now select the pick 4. 6, 0, 8, 5. Pennsylvania Lottery drawings are independently audited by Zelenkovsky Axelrod. And next, pick 5. 2, 2, 7, 9, 3. And now cash 5. The numbers are 29, 39, 19, 3, 38. And now match 6. The numbers are